Let's talk water bottles. For a long time, the Hydro Flask was sort of considered the water bottle to have, but lately I've been seeing everyone with an Owala water bottle. So let's compare the two and see how they do next to each other. So right off the bat, you can tell I have two different size water bottles. This is the 24-ounce Owala water bottle, and this is the 32-ounce Hydro Flask. So I do have different sizes, but for the test I did, they worked out to being pretty comparable. They do sell the Owala in a larger size, and they do sell the Hydro Flask in a smaller size, so the comparison stands. So the first thing I wanted to test was how well they kept drinks cool. So I filled both water bottles with water and ice to see how long the ice would last. After 12 hours, both bottles still had ice. Both waters were still nice and cold, and in fact, after 24 hours, both bottles still had a little bit of ice. So I would say they are comparable. Both will keep your drinks nice and cold all day long. These were test conditions, but for the purposes of just saying, will it keep one drink cold for 12 hours? Yes, it will. Both bottles. Equally good on the insulation front. So secondly, let's talk about portability. Now, obviously the larger size is gonna make this one a little bit less portable. However, if you had the same bottle and didn't have to worry about that, you would still have the problem of, if you get a bottle this size, you're gonna need some kind of cup holder extender, but it does have this handy loop for carrying it, and you can carry it around like this. I don't know that a whole lot of people would do that. You can still attach a carabiner, attach it to your backpack. It'll fit in some water bottle pockets. It'll fit in some stroller caddies, things like that. It is fairly portable. It actually doesn't feel that bad to hold in your hand like this or to hold like this. Of course it gets heavy. It's a water bottle, but it's fairly portable. The one thing I will say is this straw lid does not lock down. So it's always a little bit exposed, and I'm gonna talk more about that later. The Owala water bottle is also pretty portable. Obviously with the smaller size, it's obviously easier to hold in your hand, but if you got the larger one, you'd have that same problem. It's a little hard to hold in your hand. Instead of the loop on the back, it has the loop that comes forward to form the locking mechanism. But when you pull it back, it's a pretty handy little grip. You can hold it just as easily as the Hydro Flask bottle. You could attach a carabiner. It fits well into water bottle pockets, water bottle spots in other bags and stroller caddies. Even at this smaller 24-ounce size, I had trouble getting it into my car cup holders. So regardless of the size of the bottle, I needed a cup holder extender in order to take it in the car with me. So I would say they're arguably equally portable given that they are the same size. So now let's talk about the locking mechanism. The Owala has the locking mechanism. Once you pull this down into its locked position, it will stay locked and you can't open it because you can't get to the little button. It's being held shut. That's really nice, although it does take away the handle for portability. So you can't lock it and use a carabiner to attach it to a bag or backpack, which is a little bit inconvenient, but the Hydro Flask doesn't have one at all. There's no way to lock it down. Now I am using the straw one. There is the wide mouth open top lid. I just really like straw lids, so I went with this option. It doesn't have a lock mechanism at all. You're probably not going to accidentally open it. Like, that'd be pretty hard to do. You have to put some force into getting it open, but the straw is always a little bit exposed. So if you take it to the beach, sand can get in it. Whereas this one, as long as you keep it locked, the sand won't get in it at the beach. So I do feel like the Owala wins on being more sanitary. The other thing is the Hydro Flask, you have to choose. You can have the straw water bottle, or you can have the wide mouth open bottle, but you can't really have both, right? Once you have the straw top on, you're always gonna have the straw piece that would get in your way if you opened it up to drink it like an open top water bottle. The Owala has this really handy feature, and my favorite feature, where it has the big gulp mouth and the straw. So you can drink it just like a straw, or you can gulp it like a wide open mouth. And it's really handy. So I really wanted that for staying hydrated. I am really bad about drinking enough water, and I can sometimes tell when I'm getting dehydrated. And so to deal with that, it's sometimes nice to just be able to drink a lot of water at once, and you can gulp faster than you can sip. So I really like that straw feature of the Owala. both bottles lend themselves to being decorated with stickers and stuff. Obviously, I haven't. I just like the nice clean look of having nothing on there. Both bottles come in a variety of colors. Most Owala water bottles do come with the lids that are multicolored, maybe a different color from the body, just so you have a little bit more variety and stuff. I believe they do both sell replacement parts, and you can get either one on Amazon and a lot of different retailers, so they're pretty easy to come by. So which one do I like better? Honestly, I would have to say I personally like the Owala water bottle a little better, and it really is just that straw piece. I love that it can be locked. I think it's much more sanitary that the straw is not just open all the time, and I love that I can either sip or gulp. It came up more often than I thought it would, and having the options was really handy. I still like my Hydro Flask, and because it is bigger, I do sometimes use it if I'm gonna need to refill my bottle less often. It can be really handy if I'm gonna be out at a theme park for a long day or the zoo for a long day, but I would not take it to the beach because I know sand will get in the straw. The Owala is great for taking pretty much anywhere. I know I could just get a bigger size. I just feel like this one's really portable, so I like this size. I'm willing to refill it more often. Either water bottle will be a great choice. You'll be happy with whichever one. Thanks for watching. I hope you found this helpful, and please subscribe for more.